why do the cheaters in Tarkov play solo? Seriously, think back to all the times you've died to a cheater. How many times has that person had a teammate? It happens, of course, but usually if someone's cheating, at least in my experience, they're a solo. The answer to the question is actually kind of sad. These cheaters are, well, either actual children or losers. These people obviously don't have anyone to play with, or they could even just be people who are plain out stupid. Think about it. The people who cheat have to be stupid enough to give their own or their parents' credit card information to a sketchy business that is in no way operating legally. If you've ever played CSGO, you will of course had the opportunity to speak with cheaters. If you think Tarkov is bad in CSGO, it was an actual pandemic. But with my experience talking to people using cheats, often they would just tell you it's so they can troll or mess around. The few honest of the bunch would tell you that they're cheating, so they're better and that they can ruin the fun for everyone else. It makes sense when you think about it. In a game like CSGO, if there's a cheater on a team, it would ruin the game entirely whether you were on their team or not. Here is some advice from someone who's been playing competitive first-person shooters for the majority of their life. Do not call the people who are using cheating software hackers. In my experience, they like being called hackers, and they like to think of themselves like real badass developers who develop their own cheat for the game. Of course, that's bogus. Out of every single cheater I've ever talked to, I would say maybe half of them claim they've made their own cheating software or that they're currently using their own cheating software. Again, the only thing you can do to someone who says that is point and laugh. They're simply no-life losers who are too lazy to put in the time and effort to improve. While doing research into cheating, specific phrases kept popping up here and there. They call it legit cheating. Now, if you're new to competitive games, you might think, legit cheating? What do you mean? Like he's legitimately cheating? What? But what they mean is that they are cheating, but trying to make it look like they are not. So, in a game like Counter-Strike, there are a few reasons why someone might actually try to seem like they're playing legit. First and foremost is there's a system in the game called Overwatch, which is basically peer-to-peer review gameplay where actual players can help people get banned. So it makes sense why you'd want to play legit, so that you may trick a peer to not ban you. Another reason why someone would be legit cheating, quote unquote, is that a lot of players in CSGO will wait to watch the match replay before they make their decision to report the player. But in Tarkov, this is not really a thing. If someone thinks you're cheating, they're going to have to assume that off of instinct and context clues surrounding that one engagement. So in that case, why is legit cheating so important to Tarkov players? Well, I've been thinking about it very, very hard, and I can only think of a few reasons. Maybe reports in Tarkov are manually reviewed and bans may be rolled out that way. And also, keeping in mind that most cheaters are solo players, the only other reason I can think of is that they just want to pretend they are better than they really are. Which again, is sad to think about, but you lose the right to be pitied once you make other people fall victim to cheating. Cheaters are the worst kinds of people. Not only do they usually have to pay monthly for the cheat, but also they absolutely will eventually get banned. And then they'll have to spend money to purchase the game again and make another account. I don't know what kind of entitled bag you have to be to have that kind of money to spend in a video game, but it just makes people who cheat in video games even more unlikable. When I die to someone who's cheating with EOD, I am genuinely bewildered by their stupidity. The reason why I've done all the research and made this video is I saw just how many cheaters Pestily has died to. And if memory serves me right, we're getting into that time of the wipe where cheaters are everywhere. In one of Pestyly's most recent videos, he said this.
As I was playing the game, I got this message, which is your recent reports from the raids on these maps, plus the 26 others, help identify the cheaters. These players have been banned.
37 out of his 68 deaths were to cheaters. That's more than half. That statistic, to me, sounds just as bad as the infamous Wiggle video, where Goat made the claim that 50% of the time, there is one cheater in the lobby. In Pestyly's video, he also said this.
What I'm just saying is there are cheaters out there, particularly the worst on OCE. I know that for a fact.
Now, I love Pestily, and I understand that he is an OG in this game, and will always have more experience than I will, regardless. Unless he has some sort of information directly from BSG, I don't think he could possibly know that. The state of cheaters in video games simply fluctuate. Right now, there is, evidently, an absurd amount of cheaters because the game is becoming more and more relevant. It is just what happens at the beginning of every wipe. In my opinion, cheaters are simply stupid. Saying that cheaters are a bigger problem from one area to another area is kind of like saying people are less intelligent from this gaming culture to that gaming culture. Let me be clear, that is of course not what Pestily was saying, but it is what I'm saying. As someone who lives in NA West, I know it's not possible that we are more intelligent than people who live in Australia. The gamers who live here are some of the most idiotic motherfuckers I know. And yes, I know you're watching this video, Jacob. I'm talking about you. Anyways, for me, the cheating problem is absolutely worse than it ever has been, and I'm playing in NA West. Early wipe cheaters is exactly why I avoid playing the game during said period. Everyone else says early wipe is the best time to play, but I just don't agree. I've probably watched dozens of cheating videos, and one thing I've noticed is that cheaters in Tarkov are especially terrible. They seemingly have no game sense, and also their mechanical skill is dog shit. I bet you've killed more cheaters than you could even imagine. Here's a clip where a cheater almost loses a 1v2. In that same video, the cheater put this clip of someone running in and killing him, while the cheater was seemingly playing legitimately. It feels like he put this clip here almost as if to say for certain that this guy was cheating. But likely, this guy wasn't using any cheating software. The cheater, seemingly playing with no cheating software, had previously just looted filing cabinets, which obviously gives away your location. The guy was also just clearing a very common corner that people hide in. When you also put desync into account, it totally makes sense, and this is not a sus clip at all. That being said, if you've not played Tarkov for more than 1,000 hours or so, you may have found yourself calling people out for cheating more often than you realistically should have. Desync has been terrible for years, but as a new player, there's no real way to know that right off the start, so when people peek you and then instantly one-tap you, you might think they're cheating. And if this were to happen to you again and again, and if your IQ is in the single digits, you may just say screw it and install cheats of your own. In regards to players who are new to the game, in some ways, Tarkov's jankiness may actually perpetuate the problem. Sorry for the rant at the beginning of the video. I've already showed some footage of it, but what does cheating in Tarkov really look like? And what are some of the more nuanced advantages cheaters have over you? Well, first off, of course, there's a cheat menu where you can access all of the software and fidget with the settings and all that. But I think the main thing that almost all cheaters in competitive games have is ESP, which actually stands for extrasensory perception, which is way cooler than I thought it stood for. And kind of like the cheaters are downloading the ability to see into the fourth dimension and destroy your very being. But basically, ESP is what makes it so they can see entities through walls, whether that is player models, loose loot, or even items inside of containers. Usually, cheaters can tell if someone else is cheating by several ways. One of the easiest ways to tell that another player may be cheating, other than yourself, is the kill-to-death ratio that you can display next to their player model. Cheaters also have a radar in their cheating software. Of course, that varies from cheat to cheat, just like all of their settings. Some cheats have a radar with a small set radius, some have a radar that can encompass the entirety of the map at once, and the more complex cheats are likely going to make it so you have more customization with the radar. Now, tools like radar might be ignored entirely if the cheater is rage hacking. From year to year in Tarkov, cheating apparently has changed a lot. One of the things that seems most consistent is, of course, the aimbot. Most cheating softwares come with aimbot in any FPS. I'm sure you all already know what aimbot is. The main setting you can change with the aim lock or the aimbot is the FOV, or the field of view. The lower the FOV, the closer you have to manually aim at the target for it to lock on. Increasing the aim lock's FOV will make your aim more and more automated. Also, cheaters can make it so their weapon will shoot you basically the exact frame their bullet can actually hit you. Tarkov is again janky. This means cheaters basically have one disadvantage that nobody can get around. And that is Peeker's advantage. If you are in an engagement with someone who you know is rage cheating, your only hope is to adopt an aggressive playstyle. If you need help learning how to successfully play Tarkov aggressively, go ahead and give this video a watch at the top right. And of course, when you're fighting a cheater, make sure to berate them and try to get on their nerves. If you've played any Tarkov recently, you will have died to a rage hacker. Rest assured, rage hackers will almost certainly get banned within the week. One fairly uncommon way that a cheater may throw away their account is to fly hack on it. As of last wipe at least, fly cheaters were still a thing. They were just very rare. I played around 1.5 thousand and 1.8 thousand hours last wipe, and I only ran into 1 or 2 of them. Also, a cheat similarly uncommon, I would call it the invincibility cheat. I ran into that a few times last wipe as well, but basically the cheater's player model just hovers on one leg, and no matter how times you headshot them, they simply will not die. If you do happen on a neckbeard rage hacking, make sure to aim at the leg that is locked onto the ground. It's the only way to kill them.
He's cheating. He's a cheater, yeah. Cheater, yeah. Hey, go fuck yourself, cheater. I just killed him. I just killed him. I just killed him. He was standing on one leg. Did you see that?
One of the more nuanced of cheats I found out about is called thermal vision. I did not find any gameplay, but I assume it just does what it says it does, which at first might seem cool. A cheater might think, wow, awesome, I don't need to use thermal sights. But why would you even need thermal sights when you can already see people through walls? It seems a little bit unnecessary. Some people's cheating software literally has a list of every single loot item that spawns in the map. If you've at all paid attention while launching into Raid, one of the things you'll load before every single map is the loot pool. So what Tarkov does, instead of randomly generating the items in containers, each crate or weapon box, etc. in Tarkov is seemingly preset before everyone loads in. This could be one of the major reasons why the game is unoptimized. Obviously, there's no helping the loose loot on the ground, but everything you search should just have a random assortment of container-specific items that generates when you actually loot it. I'm no developer, but doing it that way seems like it would save a ton of processing power for your PC, everyone else's PC, and I'm sure it would help on the server end as well. I have around 3.2 thousand hours in Tarkov, and I've only ever found one colored keycard. I do not have a single friend who plays Tarkov who has ever found a colored keycard. This is likely because cheaters, with their list of items in the server, can just run straight to the most rare items in the game. And also, by the way, for context, I am a labs main. I know every single keycard spawn on labs specifically, and I check them regularly, yet I still never find any. Now, I again want to move on to several more unknown mechanics these cheating softwares provide that people who are legit cheating, quote unquote, may utilize. The first of which is a hardware ID spoofer. Yes, some cheats now come with their own hardware spoofer, so that the scumbags can avoid hardware bans. I do not actually know that BSG did hardware bans, but I'm assuming they do, since there was one cheat I researched that actually came with a hardware spoof. For those of you who do not know, a hardware ban is a type of ban that targets a specific hardware device instead of just an account or IP address. This type of ban is commonly used by game developers and other online services to prevent banned users from accessing their service with a different account or IP address. Whereas a hardware ID spoofer is basically just the workaround to the anti-cheat. So a hardware ID spoofer is a tool that enables you to manipulate or alter your hardware IDs so that you can have a workaround for the anti-cheat. Some cheat CSP can even give players the ability to actually see where their extracts are, and this same cheat I looked into can also see the mines that are placed on the bridge leading to the lighthouse, which seems a little bit useless to me because you're likely going to die anyway, unless, I don't know, you're on God mode or something. Cheats also provide things like permanent steady aim, infinite stamina, high jump, and night vision. Now, night vision was confusing to me at first, but I assume what it does is make the game look like daytime, so people who legit cheat can see during nighttime. I'm sure you could already tell from the footage I showed you, but there are also anti-recoil cheats, or the ability to disable weapon sway and aim punch. I'm sure it only makes their weapon model and sights look like that on their own end, or else it would be an immediate giveaway to the people who manually review the reports. There is much to say on the cheating pandemic in Tarkov. Investigating all of this was rather tiresome. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you want a part 2, you're going to go ahead and leave me a comment or bag me by joining my Discord. Also, sorry about the poor mic quality. It will be fixed in the next video. See you, nerds.